Excellent. So I would like to welcome you to being the second person to ever wish to speak with me on Talks and Taverns, and thank you, Clark, for being here. I have a lot of questions for you. Including your Kickstarter and
Mhm.
generally the process that brings you to creating. I guess we can call this a supplement for 5e, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What? When did you start D&D? Let's start off with the basics.
Okay, right at the beginning. All
Yeah,
right.
let's right at the beginning. What gave you the balls to do this? Like, what strengths do you have? What are you bringing to the table?
Okay, so I started playing D&D when I turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Originally, I don't really come from I wouldn't like a D&D background. I didn't know anyone else that played D&D before I turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
I was like an athlete in school, and I still do that now. So to me, the
Oh.
idea the idea of playing D&D was very, very odd. It was like, that's a bit nerdy. I'm not sure that's for me, kind of thing.
Oh, I love this
Uh,
already. This is great.
so my friend said to me, he said, "Oh, I think you'd enjoy D&D. You did some acting and stuff. You'd enjoy it, I think." I said, "Oh no, dude, it's just a bit nerdy for me. I'm not sure I'll be into it." He goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, no worries, fine. You do whatever you want." And then he said, "Oh, but do you want to come over for a drink on Thursday night?" And I said, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come over." And then I came over to his house, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're having a drink, but also we're playing D&D." So I basically got tricked
Oh
into
yeah,
playing.
that's what you just got bamboozled straight
Yeah,
up. Now
I
you're
got
playing. You're
bamboozled.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh well, I'm here now. I might as well play."
Yeah. Exactly.
And I played. I guess it's the same thing as how everyone first starts playing. I played my first session, was like, "Oh my god, I need to play more of it. This is
Oh
so much
yeah.
fun.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I've got to play again. When can we play next?"
Yeah. That's how it starts. That's the worst part.
Yeah. So that's when I started playing D&D. And since then, I think basically what happened was the guy that introduced me to playing D&D has a family, and he couldn't commit to DMing all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but because I wanted to play all the time, I was like, fine, I'll do the DMing if everyone else wants to play.
Oh, so
And
you really you went soon into the shoes of the DM.
oh, very soon, within
Oh,
maybe like 3 sessions or something.
oh, nice.
Um,
Well,
but
that is pretty ballsy. I'm not gonna lie. Usually
yeah,
people, when I ask people who are just started out or just started out DMing, they're like, "Oh man, I was a bit nervous." I mean, it depends on from the person, but usually there is that level of nervousness once you know you have to lead a story and people. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I find it so appealing though. So my family's very creative, so we're already kind of
Mm.
like love telling stories and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
doing things with acting already. So all of that stuff was like, oh, I'm so cool with it. This is in my nature to do this kind of thing, to create a story and to like host it.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seemed very natural for me to do that kind of thing. But I loved it, and to be honest, I don't even I don't usually just play D&D. I'm usually the DM, and I have been
Mm-hmm.
for about over 2.5 years now. I
Oh.
haven't played D&D in a while. I play the occasional one shot and other things, but usually I'm always DMing.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. So do you see yourself more in the role of the DM than the player?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, that is very interesting. Like from the get-go with the jock turn nerd part, you already got me
Yeah,
very
exactly.
much interested. I love such stories. I mean, D&D and in my opinion, tabletop games in general should be, of course, for everyone.
Yeah.
Which part of the? Oh, I'm sorry, we're still dancing a bit about this point. Which part of D&D do you like more, the combat or the storytelling aspects?
Okay. Well, for me as the because I usually am the DM, I
Mm-hmm.
prefer the story based stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like the mystery and the intrigue and the character relationships and the evolving of characters. I think is often one of the best things ever.
Oh hell yeah!
But
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to
yeah,
hear.
I mean,
Ah.
don't get me wrong. When there's a big battle and my players get the final blow, and I get to say, "Oh, how do you want to do
Oh
this?" And
yeah.
they will cheer. That's still good as well. But it doesn't have anything on the actual like
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
story. I love the story.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay, so you've been DMing for 3 years.
Mhm.
You love it. I'm glad you found yourself in the role of the DM. So you played 5e. You played D&D,
Y-
and then you decided, okay, I want to make a world. I want to make a supplement. I want to make something for the rest of the world.
yeah.
Go. What happened there?
Okay. So I I've always really kind of had the mentality of just like, like, what am I losing? I might as well just give it a go, kind of thing. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah, yeah,
exactly, like it just kind of like I might as well have a shot at it. Why not, right?
yeah.
And that all kind of started at the beginning of quarantine. So
Oh, yeah,
um,
I
I,
wanted to ask, is it connected with the quarantine?
yeah,
Since we were
oh, it
talking
is.
before I started recording. Excellent, excellent creativity during the lockdown.
Yeah, so I've just finished my second year at university,
Mm-hmm.
or like that was the one year that got interrupted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'd finished university and I was like, I can't go outside. I can't see my friends. All I'm doing is like I'm playing D&D on like Fridays with my friends over Zoom. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing. And I was going on Twitch and I was just kind of looking around at other people. And I saw this person streaming D&D stuff, like just making a world. And I was like, hey, I could do that. Why not? I'll give that a go. And so I did it, and I started kind of like streaming for a bit and streaming some of the sessions that I was doing and streaming some of the world building stuff.
Oh,
And
ooh. As much as the most popular thing to do is actual play, streaming yourself play. I really like when I sometimes go into the D&D section on Twitch. I see world building and just
yeah,
general story talking.
yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So yeah, I really enjoyed doing some of that stuff, and eventually we started to kind of like make some friends with other people online. When
Mm-hmm.
I met my friend called Josh, who's the other half of Aberrant Press, the
Mm-hmm.
setting
Mm-hmm.
that we're making. I set up a thing. I said, well, why don't we just like all take a session? It was 4 Twitch streamers. I said, why don't we all just have a go at running a one shot for each other? So have 3 people in one shot and one DM. We'll all have a turn to do it, and we'll do it over 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And I ran a session first. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been during this time I've been building a lot of candy themed monsters just because it was quite a lot of fun and it was a world that I was building on my stream. And my friend Josh, who was part of the one shots, ran a one shot that was candy themed. And I said to him after the stream, it was the last one. I said, "Should we just have a go and just like try and make it into a book? Like, it could be fun." And he just went, "Yeah, all right, let's do it."
Uh, uh,
And it all kind of just snowballed from there, really.
that's great. So, how many people are working on it? You, your friend?
Yeah, so we have me, my friend Josh, who is in Singapore,
Mm-hmm.
and then Rachel, who's our artist.
Mm-hmm. So, a three-person job then?
3-person job.
Mm. Oh, sorry, took a drink there.
That's
Uh,
okay.
so what's in the book? I know the Kickstarter is on Sunday.
Mhm.
This Sunday,
Yep,
let me just check the date. That would be the 23rd, right?
that's right.
On the 23rd, your books come out on on the Kickstarter. So what? Oh, okay, just answer me one question. I'm sorry. Is there a Sugar Rush Barbarian? I need to know.
Okay, so
Even just say maybe. If you can't tell me, just say
okay,
maybe.
no, I can definitely say maybe. What I can say is that, um, well, firstly, what I'll say is this was our kind of our first ever project,
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't want to stretch ourselves too thin, bearing in mind we know that like things like university and jobs are going to start up
Oh
again.
yes, of course, of course.
So a lot of it was about trying to manage to see like the best thing that we could do
Mm-hmm.
in the time frame that we had. So we wanted to make a lot of stuff and
Mm-hmm.
just see how much of it we could get in. So we really wanted to look at extra classes and
Mm-hmm.
like extra spells and all that kind of stuff. But we were like, okay, we just got to stick to a few different things. But I recently opened up the Kickstarter to look at stretch goals for what we might do if we had a bit more, a bit more support for it and could take slightly more time to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things is going to be extra subclasses, one of which may or may not be a Sugar Rush Barbarian.
Okay,
So
phenomenal,
you can
phenomenal.
you can read into that what you will.
Okay, okay. I'll be cautiously optimistic in that regard. But now
Yeah.
that you mentioned that you went full on the production of the
Mhm.
book and the world, what was kind of your uh, priority while building the supplement? Was it the world? I presume it was the world, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because the thing is, when usually a supplement comes out, it's just the setting, like
Mm.
kind of what's it called? The D&D supplement on Chalt. Oh God, I'm a terrible host. I'm so sorry. Tomb of
That's fine.
Annihilation. Yeah, Tomb of Annihilation.
Two and a half, yeah.
It's huge. It's basically an entire island with all sorts of things. Is it like
Yeah.
that? Is it? Are you presenting the players with a sandbox?
Yes. Well, that's the aim. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we said before about my style of DMing, or like
Mm-hmm.
the things that I like the most, is I love the story base of it. I love the
Mm-hmm.
complex relationships and the interesting stories that we can create using a world and the setting that we already have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what we wanted to create for other people. We didn't want to have to say this is a rigid structure that you have to have the same adventure every time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tool for you to create the best adventures possible that your players will always remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of like what our main priority was, yeah, we wanted to create the best world possible that was interesting, that we thought was fun the whole way through, and that there wasn't a bit of it that we left and just made it kind of mundane and normal. We wanted to have
Mm-hmm.
everything be like you could go down this corner and there'll be something interesting there and a story to be had, that kind of thing.
Oh, so you went with the philosophy rather go deeper than wider, I presume.
Yeah, I think that we've got the opportunity to expand on it later if we want to, and if there's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
support for it, then we can go into like get wider and then also delve deeper into that. But we
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wanted to kind of get it as good as possible.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you why the candy theme? Is there something behind it, or just went, oh my God, nobody has done it?
I don't know. Well, I don't even. I'm sure there must be other people that have done it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain that we're going to be doing it fantastically. I don't know about everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love the confidence, man. I love it. You have my 100% support on this. Like, goddamn.
good. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. I think that well, when we first started it, right, I was making random monsters on Twitch, and I was just homebrewing things.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said, "I want to make a cotton candy dragon." And so I spent
Oh
like
my God.
I spent like 2 hours making this cotton candy dragon, and then I looked at like like adult candy dragon, adult and elder and all ancient even, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
So we looked at all of these things, and I was like, hey, there are some great monsters that you could do with this. There are some cool things. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
giant chocolate frogs, like the traditional fairy tale witches,
Mm-hmm.
popping candy rats that explode. There's like a whole world full of stuff that you can come up with here.
Oh man, when when
Uh,
I, when I first saw the cover, I don't know if it's going to be the cover or I saw the first art on Twitter of this, and
mm,
I saw the gingerbread man.
yeah, the gingerbread
I
vampire.
was like, yes, oh my God, I want to play as a gingerbread man. I just want to play as
Yeah.
a gingerbread man. That's
Oh, for
great.
sure.
That's
Oh,
great.
we when we were looking at it, we were like, there are so many interesting, cool things we can do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like, I'm not going to tell you that from the age of 3, I was always passionate about creating a candy world. But
Yeah,
when we looked at it further, we were like, hey, we can do some really cool stuff with this.
yeah. We can start like there is potential. Let's make do with it.
Exactly. Yeah. There's
Oh my
there's
God,
potential here. So
excellent.
let's work with it.
Oh, that's great. And so there's three of you working on it. You're
Yeah.
you're the writer slash editor.
Yeah.
Uh, what did you arrive at some point where you were like did you feel that you kind of stepped in over your head? Where you were like, "Oh God, can I do it? Am I doing it right?" Did you like check
Yeah.
online a bit, like what is good, what is bad, what should you work with?
So I've read a lot of stuff from the DM's Guild already. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of other people's projects and stuff. And I read a lot of the free content because, being a poor student, I make do with buying some stuff and supporting some things on Kickstarter, but I read a lot of the free things as
Oh,
well.
I absolutely know how you feel. I
Yeah. Well,
absolutely know how you feel, bro.
yeah. Just like I'm very happy to support people, but
Mm-hmm.
if there's free stuff as well, I'd like to read it too. So
Yes, of
I
course.
read a bunch of this and thought I could I liked a lot of the stuff that I read, and it got me thinking. As someone that did English literature at A level and someone that's doing kind of like a a minor study at university in English,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely and essay subjects. I'm definitely kind of good at writing, and I could do this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but it did become more real when, as we've been approaching the Kickstarter, and Kickstarters to me, they always seem like you're asking for a lot of money whenever you run them. But it
Mm-hmm.
always seems weird to me. I just think, this is something that's basically come out of my head. So it kind of, even though I'm certain that it's going to be fantastic,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
feels weird to me that people would pay this much money to see
Uh-huh.
my
Uh-huh.
project, kind of thing. So, that's slightly odd, and it doesn't necessarily feel like we're over our head, but I think we're just kind of excited. We're like, we're doing something that no one else is doing at our age.
Oh, I'm 100% with you. This sounds great. And I have I have a pretty good feeling that you guys are going to succeed with whatever goal you put on,
Good.
because it's so interesting, it's unique in a way that's just it brings out that whimsy. It just brings out that
Mm,
fantasy whimsy that I have a kind of a feeling because you're an English major or something like
yeah.
English literature, and English
Yeah.
literature is full of fantasy like that. I'm personally a German major. I studied
Right.
German at my college, and my favorite course during college was fairy tale stories, and it wasn't called like that, but the main focus was fairy tales and simple literature like
Yeah.
this. And I personally have an affinity for it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in their minds or in their hearts have still that attachment to those beautiful little stories
Yeah.
that brings such joy to them, because all I can see is so many adventures can be had in this world, even though I don't know what this world is. I'm
Yeah.
do you have like already NPCs planned out, like Candy
Oh
Kingdoms
yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yeah. I can give you loads of information about all the stuff
Oh
there is
yeah,
if you want.
hit me, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So what we liked about looking at the Candy Realms, as we're calling it,
Oh hell
we
yeah.
liked that you have the opportunity to run basically any kind of adventure that you want. So I've run campaigns that are tailored to different people, because
Mm-hmm.
ran campaigns that are for my friends, and usually they're kind of a bit more kind of bloody and gory, and they've got a bit more kind of dark, grimy intrigue to them. So kind of like back alleys,
Yeah,
stabbings,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that kind of thing.
The modern fantasy thing that's currently
Yeah,
going on. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I've run campaigns like that, but I've also run campaigns for my younger sisters, so 11 and 16. So they played in the campaign
yeah.
together, and
Mm-hmm,
we kind
mm-hmm.
of ran some fun things for them, and that's obviously been much more kind of like tailored to their age and
Uh-huh.
what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like the fun thing about the Candy Realms, is that we have locations that you can run stuff in that is definitely like you can have that fun, happy, happy-go-lucky campaign in it, but also we've got areas of it that are much more grimy, and there's like darker intrigue stuff going on. So in the first kingdom that I've spent a lot of time planning is we've planned it on Venice. So it's a city that has the chocolate river running through it, and all of the houses are built on chocolate canals that kind of sift throughout the city.
Oh
And
god.
it's called the Candy Kingdom, just very, very classic. But yeah, it's got full of NPCs already, and
Mm-hmm,
interesting
mm-hmm.
things. There's like sports to take part in if you wanted to, and they've got an underground mob boss who runs like some hot chocolate bathhouses that sell secret information, and
Oh
do
my
deal
god.
drugs on the side. And that it's they've got all the kinds of things. So in the same way that we've got like the very nice, fun, happy stuff for younger audiences, or maybe just a different audience. We've
Yeah.
also got like the chocolate brothels and the underground crime network and the Candy Kingdom. So we've got all that kind of stuff going on, which is pretty cool, I think.
Oh my god. No, you had me with the Venice and the chocolate drawers. Oh my, I would
Oh, good.
I would never come up with that. Oh my god. Did you take some inspirations from somewhere, or did it all just pop in your head and your friends' heads?
I'm trying to remember. For definitely for bits of things, we did take lots of inspiration from other things. So one of my favorite things was when designing the castle itself and some of the things in the kingdom was I watched Wreck-It Ralph with my younger sister, and it's
Ah.
got like the Sugar Rush races where they're all like it's all candy themed in a racing video game, a bit like Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that. When I was writing the blurb for the Kickstarter, I was watching Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and like obviously inspiration from there as well.
Oh,
For
can you be a candy alchemist?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. If we hit all our stretch goals and we get more classes,
Oh
then
my god.
I don't want to say no because maybe
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we've currently got someone looking into writing a bunch of extra classes, well, subclasses
yeah,
for us
yeah.
anyway. So I think there are going to be like 4 or 5 in total. So things for Bard, I need to look at his brief again that he sent me, but it's looking pretty good that we're going to take him on to write something for us.
Yeah,
So we're pretty excited about that.
that sounds great. That sounds great. Did you? I mean, this is a pretty expansive project, not like monetary, but like the world you're creating is pretty wide and
Yeah,
filled with lots of stuff. Did you have to cut content?
yeah. Um, but that was one of the things that was slightly irritating for us. So in the book there will be 3 different kingdoms already, all that have been basically nearly finished. So that
Mm-hmm.
I just told you about one of them just then.
Yeah,
Um, there are going
chocolate
to
Venice,
be
love it, love it.
yeah, Chocolate Venice. There are going to be 25 plus monsters in it,
Mm-hmm.
and loads of NPCs as well. So already, we've got quite a lot of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
when we first looked at it, we had over 50 monsters that we wanted to put in,
Mm-hmm.
but had to really cull it down,
Mm-hmm.
which is irritating. But then
But
again, it's kind of
understandable. Yeah,
understandable and kind of good as well because hey, if this is cool and this is popular and it actually makes some money, then we can actually commit to doing it a bit more often. We can
yeah.
start making
You
another
can
one.
start
So
making. Hey guys, this worked. We have more of it.
yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that I like most about the project is that we're having so much fun with it now.
Mm-hmm.
And after this book, the fun doesn't stop because if it does well and people like the kind of thing that we're doing, we can
Mm-hmm.
carry on doing this.
Well, you told me Aberrant Press was that's also your Twitter handle, just so people
Yeah,
know. Uh, is that an official publishing house, or what is it exactly, or
it's
is it
just our
just
name.
just
It's the
name in
name that
general?
yeah, it's a name that we're publishing under. But
Oh, okay, good, good. That should be known. That should be known. Well, honestly, I'm pretty intrigued by it. What do you think is should be the yeah, should be Jesus. Uh, is the main selling point of your book? Like, what would you off the top, be like? This is the biggest appeal of the book to a person that's currently scrolling Kickstarter at 8 in the evening before going to bed, wants to spend some money.
yeah, okay, well, easily the artwork is some of the best artwork that I've seen in terms of monsters.
Oh, that is
Uh,
true.
and
That is
and
true.
the setting guide that we've got is completely unique. You
Mm.
won't find setting guides that are giving like are providing the same kind of thing that we're providing here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's going to be pretty amazing to be honest.
Just the novelty of it being a candy realm should
Yeah,
hook a person, in my opinion. In my opinion, like simply seeing gingerbread men with a rapier is enough to get
yeah,
me interested in what is going on here. And the chocolate
there,
frogs and all the stuff of the art
yeah,
you released so far, which is great, by the way. Absolutely love it. The colors popping, the pink, the blues. It's great.
yeah,
It's great. It's instantly memorable. Like, oh yeah, this color pattern, the like the general aesthetic is it will get ingrained in your brain.
yeah.
Like,
We hope so. The artwork that we've commissioned to get done by
mm-hmm,
one of my friends called Rachel
mm-hmm,
is outstanding already. She's a recent grad from university,
mm-hmm.
and she's been doing. She worked on some other indie games as well,
Oh,
but
okay, excellent.
now she's really enjoying having the creativity to work with some of the stuff for us. It's kind of I like what we're doing with it at the moment because going back to what you said about, are you ever over your head? I suppose we are sometimes when we have some of our meetings. We meet every week and talk about what we're going to do in the week and what like our tasks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it still feels like just kids talking.
Ah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
I'm not used to the serious business of like actually doing this kind of thing. It's silly and fun, but that's
But at
kind
the
of good.
same time, you're doing something that is usually connected with pastimes, relaxing, generally chilling, and you're basically turning it into a job a bit, ain't you?
Yeah. Well, one thing that we realized, which is like when we were doing this whole quarantine
Mm.
thing, some of us. So Josh realized that he really, really likes Twitch streaming, and I think
Hmm.
that's something that he's going to probably continue to do, even after lockdown ends.
Well, I'm glad
For
to hear
me,
it.
I have to go back to university, and
Hmm.
it's a pretty intense schedule when you're going into your third year, having to write a dissertation and stuff, and
Oh,
probably
I know, trust me.
yeah. So I probably don't have the time to stream 3-4 times a week,
Hmm.
especially with my commitments to my job at the moment as well, which is playing in the sports team.
Hmm. Hmm.
So and having to train for that. So
Man, you're busy. Damn.
yeah, I'm busy,
Yeah, you
but
really are busy. God damn. Well, no,
um,
don't get this wrong. This is great. I love your passion towards all of this. This is amazing.
yeah, but that's the thing. We realized that we did have a passion for doing this kind of D&D stuff. We
Hmm.
did have a passion for writing and creating something. It's like the kick that I get out of being a DM for three
Hmm.
years, being able to create my world is already brilliant. But
Hmm.
being like having get the kick I get out of creating a world, having artwork made for it, and having it published in a book, and people saying to me, "Oh my god, I'm so excited to play in this! Like this looks amazing." That's like DMing times 1,000. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it feels exactly like that.
Yeah, that's like one of your players coming after the session and tell you, "Yo, this session was amazing," and
Yeah, exactly.
you're basically creating a session for all the future people that will back this product.
Yeah,
That
exactly,
that
and
must that that
that's
must that must
amazing.
feel amazing, and I don't know what else. I don't know. You're
Yeah, well,
presenting
slightly
your
daunting, but it's cool.
yeah, that's great. I never looked at it from that perspective. Like, yeah, you will be a globally known DM now. I hope you can live with the fame. I hope it doesn't get over your head.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh.
very confident already. So yeah, I don't know what this will do to me.
Well, I hope it doesn't change it too much. You're a
uh,
great talking partner, so let's keep this train going. In what have you planned if this becomes a success, which I think it will be? Do you have any plans for the future of the project?
well, the project's looking like. I mean, to give you the brief of the project, it's going to be about 60 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to include settings, NPCs, and monsters is our main thing. We've got
Mm-hmm.
25 plus monsters,
Mm-hmm.
3 unique settings, including uh, as well as 2 different forest settings and like encounter tables and traps in there and stuff for you, and also cave settings as well. So wherever your adventure is, you can have something that you can instantly use,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and also NPCs all over the place. Um, in terms of like where the project goes, we've talked about having stretch goals for if the project does really well and
Mm-hmm.
it goes on. We've talked about bringing someone in to help make us some subclasses, some guest
Mm-hmm.
writers,
Mm-hmm.
and also have someone come in to write a one shot for us, or a kind of like a 3 session campaign probably.
Ooh.
Um, so we've got one of those happening for us as well if we hit our stretch goals. The
Like story in a book, like on
Yeah,
the end page. Oh, that's great. That's great. And like an intro missions. Yeah, that's great. That's
yeah.
great.
Just like an introduction to the world to give you an idea of how you can use it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, honestly, from my perspective, it's very very easy to use. It's a bunch of story in it, NPCs, and you can and they've all got kind of like underlying motivations and relationships with each other that they're commented on in the book. So honestly, like it's a world builder's dream. But um, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. In terms of like the future, we wanted to expand. We've got more locations that we wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
but just haven't had the time. So we have more locations we want to touch on. We have more adventures that we want to write.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we have a whole bunch of stuff that we want to keep on doing. It's just we realized how much we liked doing this and just wanted to carry on doing it.
Oh, that's
It's basically
great.
where we're at. You know?
No, that's great. That's great. So you said 60 pages.
Yeah.
Is it going to be just PDF, or will there be like a paperback, hardback version available?
There's a PDF and a hardback copy as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
whichever one you want.
Oh God, no, I have issues with hardbacks because I'm addicted to them. Even though
Yeah,
my girlfriend's totally, why are you buying them? They're just more expensive with the hard, but they look so much better on hardback. I'm
they look so
so
cool, and
sorry.
you can
I'm
put them
so
on your
sorry.
shelves. Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
exactly. I
Oh
love
man.
hardbacks as well. And
Oh.
one of the things that we thought was like, well, again, it's one of those things where I just think, like, how could someone buy a hardback of something that I wrote? That's bizarre.
Oh
But then again,
man.
it's so good. So obviously, I can understand why. But it's a bit weird.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, you
will you
can buy
be
both.
like what's the situation? I guess you're in England, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the situation there with the lockdown? Will there be any conventions? Will you be able to go out there or like do field work in quotation marks?
Field work. I don't know. I mean, like before Sunday, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But uh,
By the I
like
presume by the end of the campaign.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if there are campaigns here in the UK. We're not opposed to like going to some of them. I think it'll be absolutely hilarious to go to a campaign and like for people to be like, oh yeah, I played the Candy Realms campaign. That was really cool. That would
Oh
be like
man.
the weirdest thing ever.
You'd be like, "Oh my God, I did this."
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed as well is I've spoken to a lot of people that are doing Kickstarters and things, and they'll say things
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh yeah, so this has been like the process for like 10 years, or like we've been planning this for like 5 years," and then they say, "Oh, how long have you
Oh.
been planning it?" And I go, "Oh yeah, basically like a month,
Yeah,
2 months."
yeah, yeah, I was just about to say, "Oh, I started last month."
Yeah,
It just came on my mind. I was like, "Hell yeah."
yeah, why not, right? So a load of these guys are like, I mean, I guess like kind of like 30s, late 20s, even older sometimes, people that are running Kickstarters now.
Mhm.
So to be someone that's like, oh yeah, I've just turned 21, and yeah, we're running a Kickstarter for something that we just made. Like,
Oh, personally, I'm down for that. You don't have to plan a Kickstarter for 10 years. I mean, it depends on the Kickstarter. Like I won't be generalizing stuff. I won't be,
yeah, sure,
but I'm glad you took the initiative and just went guns blazing. Like
yeah.
I
Well,
just love that story.
one of the things that we noticed about Kickstarter was that Kickstarter is literally created to help make projects happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we could carry on working on it and wait longer to do the Kickstarter, but we really wanted to raise like the money now so we can pay our artists better and do all that kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
work at
Mm-hmm.
getting extra content for us. But why wait? Why wait another year before we do it? We can just do it now. So if Kickstarter can help make it happen, so
Yeah,
why
yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's like the sooner you start, like in my opinion, like psychologically, the longer you delay, you start not forgetting about it, but maybe having less trust in your work.
Yeah,
And once you start, you just okay, go, just go, like no stopping now. We started this. We're
yeah.
advertising. We're writing. We're drawing.
Guns
We're
blazing.
building.
Let's go. Yeah,
Ah, excellent, excellent. No hesitation. I like that part. Oh, oh
yeah.
my God.
It's certainly gonna make it interesting because I think one of the things that's basically helped us is that we're all slightly obsessive with the work that we do. So it's been like, we're just like producing so much stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's the project's going quickly as well. So that's why,
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to wait 10, 5 years before we do something. We can just go like, yeah, we're going to do it now.
Okay, so
I'm like,
the
cool.
Kickstarter starts on Sunday, but
Yeah.
where are you currently? Like, where's the project at?
The
Not
project,
looking at the Kickstarter.
Right. Well, we're estimating that the project. So the writing for the project is nearly done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's all been planned out. There are just like some things that need a bit of tinkering with.
Mm-hmm.
Often one thing that we're waiting for as well. We have a tier on the Kickstarter for people that want to be a playtester as well.
Oh, I
Um,
was, I was. That was going to be my second question, but do continue. Do continue.
yeah. Um, because one thing that we're very aware of in with D&D manuals is that if you have monsters that are overpowered or basically like wrong, then it's going to ruin the book for you. So we've planned out our best to our best knowledge, just looking at it, what we want the monster stat blocks to be.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to open it up to people saying, yeah, you can come on and you can play test it as well. And you can use it beforehand and kind of be involved in that process.
Mm-hmm. 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 How many tiers are they going to be?
Oh, I need to check that. There are a fair few. We've got so um, obviously there's like a Kickstarter has a normal like pay what you want kind of thing, like just support it. We have one
Mm-hmm.
to buy the PDF, one to have the PDF and be a playtester.
Oh.
Um, one to buy the hardback copy, and that, with the hardback copy, you basically as the tiers go up, you basically get all the things in the lower tiers as well. So like be a playtester and a
Oh,
PDF, all
great.
that. There's one we put in by someone else's recommendation that was like 4 PDFs for a reduced price, so you could buy it for like you and your friends if you wanted to play it.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
so we thought
I
it was fun, right?
always like those bundled packages, especially in video games if they're co-op.
Yeah,
If you automatically offer me 4 copies at a reduced price and it's a 4 player co-op game, of course I'm gonna go for it. Like I
exactly.
just
Yeah,
call my buddies and be like, "Yo guys, let's just split the cash and play video games."
yeah. You're gonna want this. It's cheaper. We'll do it. Yeah. So we've got that. We've got a few, and then so after that, we've got like 2 more tiers that are limited time only.
Oh.
Um, so we have one tier which is actually pay extra, get the hardback copy, and we work with you to put one of your monsters or an NPC into the game.
Ooh.
So your own NPC or monster inside. And working with our artists to create artwork for it as well, which is pretty cool. I mean, some people like it's not appealing to everyone, but some people can go like, "Hey,
Oh,
look, I've
definitely.
actually," So someone was like, "Yeah, I'd do this because I want to like have my cat's name as like like I want to have like my cat in the as the king's cat, and it can be like in some of the adventures, and it'll just be hilarious."
Oh,
Like, yeah, sure,
great.
I do that kind of thing. So put that in, and then finally we're actually not only going to give away all the PDFs to you and 4 friends, but also run a session for us, one of
Mm-hmm.
the actual members of the campaign. So it would be a pre-made adventure that we run for you over like Roll20 or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's for the playtesters.
No, no, no. So that's one of the final.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Sorry. I got a I had a brain fart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that's all right. So yeah,
So,
one of the final tiers would be like
mm,
literally you'd buy us to run a session for you.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, a few
Well, you
tiers.
have this pretty planned out, my guy. This is
We've done our best.
like this is way beyond. Hey, I should start this 1 month ago. This is very good work. You put lots of thought into it, like management wise.
Yeah,
I can't say for the work since I don't have the book in front of me.
yeah,
But as far as you're telling me, you're very well organized and coordinate very well with your 2 other members of the project. Does your family know about this?
yeah. So my dad's helped with some of the graphic designing for like the making some of the um I don't even know what they call it. Basically some of the graphics for it. So some of the
Oh,
little images you'll see around, some of them have been edited by my father, who's helped me out with
oh
them.
my God, that's
Um,
great. That is so cool. That is
but
so cool.
me and my mum will often talk about the my campaigns as they're going on. So in my favorite campaign, me and my mum sat in the garden. It's quite sunny here in the UK,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but we were sitting in the garden and we were talking about one of my adventures, and she helped me come up with one of the storylines. So
Oh, that is
they're not
so cool.
D&D players themselves, but they both my mum loves stories, so she's
Mm-hmm,
really good at the
mm-hmm.
kind of like the creative bit. and my dad is is great at doing some graphic design stuff. So we've all kind of pitched in to do some
Excellent.
stuff.
That is great. I absolutely support this. That
Yeah,
is amazing.
I picked the right family
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, yeah. You picked. I love how you said
Yeah,
you picked. Otherwise, I would have gone to my friend's family. They're more helpful
yeah,
regarding this.
exactly.
Oh my god, that is so cool. I guess can we talk about the pricing, or are you waiting
Yeah,
for the Kickstarter for that?
we can talk about pricing now.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start off. How much is just the PDF, and how much is the hardback version? I guess people are want to know that.
That's probably going to be the main things that people are going to want to know.
Yeah.
So we're like the PDF copy we're looking at £10. So
Mm-hmm.
that's basically the same in euros or dollars really. It was probably like 12, 13 euros or 12,
Yeah.
$13. Um it's kind of weird again, talking about pricing. We it's hard to say all the work that we've done now is worth $10 because it's so bizarre that it's like a story that's come out of our heads. But in reality, the work that's gone into it and the artwork for it as well is already outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
So it's from from the other people that have seen the stuff in the book already, they've gone, yeah, easily worth this, if not more. But
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
can't bring ourselves to make it more than that.
Yeah, it's weird putting a price tag on something that came out of your head. Like I
Exactly.
think automatically with that, people, I would be confused as hell. If somebody told me, "Hey, you have to sell something you came up with," I'd be like, "What? How? How do I do that?"
Yeah. And just like basically what we've done is we've tried to make it so that we're selling things at the same price as everyone else on Kickstarter.
Hmm. Of
We're
course.
basing all of our prices off on that because we know that our work stands up to the quality. We just
Hmm.
but we just want to be like the same as everyone else in that regard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
There's no point in overpricing something that already has
exactly.
like an established baseline. Let's call it like that.
Yeah. And in the same regard, our hardback is the same price as most others going, which is £30.
Yeah,
So
I noticed that myself as well when I'm on Kickstarter. Usually 30. Like the cheapest I've ever seen a hardback was like 28, but that's basically it. Like usually the
yeah,
number's up there, so it's 100% fair.
sure. I think we can definitely do it. Basically, what we want to do is we wanted to make sure that with this Kickstarter we're making money, and the only one where we could potentially lose money was on making hardbacks and selling them and
Hmm.
shipping them around the world.
Hmm.
So we're doing our best to make sure we get like a just like the right price for it,
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm. Has it been a bit of a like logistical nightmare since you're doing this for? Actually, no. You've said you worked on projects before, right?
No,
Or
my,
yeah,
my
okay.
artist has. My artist has.
Oh yeah, I do apologize. I do apologize.
That's all right.
What did it ever become like a logistical nightmare? Like, oh my god, we need to find a shipping company. Oh my god, we need to find a printer. So we like
Yeah.
what's the
Well.
behind the scenes? Since this is the
Um,
first time I ever had someone doing such this kind of Kickstarter, I need to know because I'm
yeah.
very much interested.
So we're as we said before, we're very much kind of like just do it and see what happens, kind of like people, I
Mhm.
suppose.
Mhm.
Um, so it's all kind of like we're taking it, day by day, a lot of the stuff.
Mhm.
So we were originally just writing the book and
Mhm.
and making it before we even decided we were going to do a Kickstarter, and it
Mhm.
kind of just like I was just sitting with my dad around dinner table and just like I should just make a Kickstarter to like raise some like awareness for it. Like at least people would see it then. And he was like, yeah, you
Mhm.
should do it.
Mhm.
And then we just kind of went, yeah, all right, let's do a Kickstarter. And basically, then because of that, this week a lot of it's been me getting involved in doing all the stuff that Kickstarter requires. So I've been writing out the blurbs and I've been writing out what's involved in the book and
Mhm.
making the
Mhm.
graphics for it and stuff and learning all that kind of thing. So yeah, in terms of a logistical nightmare, it's basically me just sitting at my desk learning about what shipping prices are and how it works. Um, so it's all
Great.
kind of like, and a lot of that has been. I have to praise the TTRPG community and how friendly they are and how welcome they are to questions and stuff.
Oh, well, I
So
should hope so.
yeah, so I've talked to a bunch of other people that and just said like, hey, so can you help us out with anything here, like in terms of advertising? Like, what do we do? And you know, with some other stuff like how do we do this, and they'll just go, oh yeah, 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 I was in the same boat just like a few months ago. Here you go. Here's everything that I did. So they've really been helping with that as well.
Oh, that's I'm
Um,
glad to hear that. I'm super glad to hear that.
yeah,
That you got input from others.
yeah.
Uh
Um,
oh, there was a question on my mind. Hold on. I'll grab it real quick. Oh God. Are you getting nervous? Like Sunday soon. It's like 2 days away.
Sunday soon. Yeah, yeah. I am those. Yeah, because this is the first project that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
I think regardless of how confident you are in your work and how good I know it is already,
Yeah, there,
I
there,
think
there, there is that. Like you can be the best in the world at something, and
yeah,
I do believe there's always going to be that one shred of, oh God,
sure.
like that.
I'm sure that every great sportsman and every great person that's confident in their abilities has always felt a bit shaky right before they do something.
All right,
It's just
it's the nature of people, in my opinion. Like,
it is, yeah.
well, I certainly hope you will succeed, and I'm glad that you surround yourself with people that help you. That your partners are great at doing their job. And I'm glad you got something out of the community, like
Yeah,
help from them, because it had to be a little bit daunting, even though you seem very capable. As far as as far as I'm concerned, as far as you've told me
yeah,
stuff, you seem very capable. But I'm glad you asked for help and research stuff, and like every experience is a learning experience. I hope you
yeah,
got out of that a lot more, like smart, not smarter, like more experienced in that regard. And
yeah, for
honestly,
sure.
I hope that this goes off great, so that you can create more worlds built on already existing worlds. Because I I think you have a lot of potential.
Good. Well, I'm glad you think so too.
I've been playing tabletop games for 12 years now. Like I started when
Mhm.
I was 12 and I'm 24, gonna be 25 this year. And honestly, I'm blown away. Like legit blown away. That you
Good.
decided after 3 years of DMing, you decided to create your own world, to publish your own world. I mean, yeah, it can be called publishing since it's on Kickstarter. And
Yeah.
I love the self-confidence you carry with you,
Oh, thank
because
you very much.
and I hope you succeed because you deserve it. After all the work you and your team put into this, as far as you've told me, this is bonkers. Like I
Yeah.
know
Oh, it's
I
crazy.
know I'm just gushing right now, but like legit.
Oh yeah, dude, it's completely crazy, and we know that as well. We know that we are like completely wacky. We there was nothing in the rule book that said we were supposed to do this, but we did it anyway.
Mm,
And we're excited, and we're looking to do something great. So yeah.
well, uh, as again, I'm speechless. This is phenomenal work. I hope I hope you get funded in the first 5 hours of the Kickstarter,
Oh, me too.
and I loved having you here. You want to shout out someone? You want to thank your partners? Anyone?
Yeah, well, I mean, already, I don't know when this is going to go live,
Uh,
but firstly,
as soon as
well,
possible, because I want
as
this out,
soon as
because I
possible.
want people to hear your voice and your talents and how hard you worked on this.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, firstly, just like, I mean, already thank you to the people that have already supported us.
Hmm.
For anyone that shares our content online, you're doing us a massive favor in just like getting the word out about what we're doing, and sharing our artwork is brilliant. So, thank you to everyone that's done that already, and all the people that have given us advice and stuff, and learning how to be Kickstarter people and how to do well in this stuff has already helped us massively. So thank you to them, and obviously thank you to you as well for having us on
Oh,
and
please.
letting us talk about it. It's been fantastic.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Where can people find you? So at on Twitter at
On
Aberrant
Twitter,
Publishing, right?
yeah, Aberrant Press.
Aberrant Press.
So I'm sure
Sorry.
I'm sure we will get links
Yeah,
sorted out in the
I'll put
description and
links
stuff.
down there easy. No problem
Yeah,
at all. And I'll link your Kickstarter. I can freely link the Kickstarter link you posted online, correct?
yeah.
Oh, excellent.